So good day everyone, I am Micaela Lanuza and I am the last reporter of our group and my topic is all about Buddhist architecture. So now that we are finished and we are all know the art of Buddhism, let's proceed to the architecture or Buddhist architecture. So did you know that architecture has a four major style or four major features? Those are stupas, stambas, chaityas, and viharas. So these have been mere spectators of different eras quietly speak about the phases of the Buddhist stages. So now let's proceed to the first one, which is the stupa. So when we say stupa, a stupa is a mound-like structure containing Buddhist relics, typically the remains of Buddha used by Buddhists as the place of worship. So they use Buddha as a place of worship or they worship on that Buddha. So these stupas are the circular tumular built of earth. Another is covered with stone or brick, and also the plan, elevation, section, and the total form of which were all derived from circle. So because of that, stupa became a cosmic symbol in the response to a major. So human condition death, it is the enlightenment of the Buddha, and also stupa become a particularly Buddhist symbol. Now that we are all know the meaning of stupa, let's proceed to the stambas or what we call alats. So when we say stamba or lats, these pillars are common to all the styles of Indian architecture. So it is related to Indian architecture. So with the Buddhists, they were employed to bear inscriptions on their shafts with emblems or animals on their capital. So you know what? Typical Buddhist columns are two type. One is based on Persepolitan type and also the other one is Greco-Roman type. So now let's proceed to the Persepolitan type or what we call a Persepolitan type. It is a octagonal with bell-shaped capital supporting animal sculpture. So this Persepolitan type, it is support animal sculpture. So it is all connected with animal sculpture. So the shaft is highly polished and has a vase-shaped base. Later, I will show you the picture of the Persepolitan type. So now, let's proceed to the Greco-Roman type, which is rectangular with shallow flutes. So it is a rectangular flutes. So they are tall and slender, and also the height nearly 6 to 8 times than lower diameter. Third major or sacred spots. So chaityas are the temples as well as assembly halls created out of the particular demands of Buddhist religion. So it is a Buddhist religion. This became necessary to accommodate those who congregated to buy their homage. So why this become a congregated pay their homage? Because these have a small rectangular doorway which opens to a vaulted hall with apsidal end and divided longitudinally by two colonnades forming a broad nave in the center and two-side aisle. So why does it have a two-side aisle? Because at the end, a stupa also carved in natural rock with enough space around it for circumambulation. So the roof of the chaityas is usually semicircular. So it is a semicircular. So the entrance of chaitya is very grand and consists of three doorways set. So underneath a gallery, the chaitya hall is 38.5-meter long and 13-meter wide with a vaulted roof rising to a height of 13.7-meter. So the chaitya hall, like I said earlier, has a 38.5-meter long and 13-meter wide with a vaulted roof rising to a height of 13.7-meter. So the roof is supplemented by a series of wooden ribs which are closely spaced. So the hall is divided by two rows of columns forming a broad nave in the center. So, each column has 1.22 meter in diameter and 7.32 meter high. So, with bell-shaped capital which supports a pair of nailing, elephants carrying male and female riders, and those of horses and tigers in the rear. So, the shaft is octagonal in shape. So, it has a vase-shaped base. So, at the end of a stupa, cave in natural rock with railing inverted step pyramid or T at the top. So, a beautiful lat surmounting with four adorous lions is erected at the entrance of the chaityas. At the list is the Viharas monasteries. So when we say Viharas monasteries, it is the residential places of the Buddhist priests. So places of the Buddhist priests, they consist of main hall entered by a doorway. They also contain the assembly hall dining chambers. So did you know that from the halls deep into the rocks, cells are provided for meditation? So they meditate in that place just like the priests. So the shrines contains beautiful figures of Buddha in the walls of the chamber. So depict the story based of Buddha's life in fine frescoes as in case of Ajanta. So some great structural viharas were about 60-meter high, covered with glazed tiles. So the pillars were richly chiseled in the form of dragon. So the beams were painted in the red in rafter with all colors of rainbow. Viharas were literally the pleasures gardens of monastic precincts. So did you know that some of the important Buddhist viharas are those Ajanta, Ellora, Nasik, Karli, Kanhiri, Bag, and